Throughout Earth's history, volcanic eruptions have demonstrated our planet's immense, often devastating power. Remarkably, each of these 8 eruptions has left an indelible mark, shaping landscapes, climate, and human societies. Witness raw power. Subscribe to Information Thin, share with curious minds, and react in the comments. Hold on tight. Number 4 will shake your understanding of nature's power. Number 8. Colombian volcano eruption. This eruption on November 13, 1985, stands as one of history's deadliest volcanic disasters due to its tragic human cost rather than its explosive power. The relatively small eruption melted the volcano's extensive ice cap, generating massive lahars, volcanic mudflows, that traveled down river valleys at speeds up to 30 miles per hour. The town of Armero, located 48 kilometers from the volcano, was completely buried under up to 8 meters of mud and debris, resulting in the loss of over 23,000 lives. The disaster highlighted critical failures in scientific communication, emergency planning, and public awareness, despite warnings from volcanologists. In the aftermath, Colombia significantly improved its volcanic monitoring and disaster response systems to prevent a similar tragedy. The volcano continues to be closely monitored today, with scientists tracking gas emissions, seismic activity, and thermal changes to provide early warnings to surrounding communities. Number 7. Peruvian Andean Eruption. The 1600 eruption of Huayna in southern Peru represents the largest volcanic event recorded in South America's history. The explosion was so violent that it created a 5-kilometer-wide caldera and sent pyroclastic flows down the volcano's slopes, devastating local indigenous communities and Spanish colonial settlements. Ashfall was recorded as far away as Lima, approximately 800 kilometers to the northwest, and fine particles circled the globe, affecting climate patterns for several years. The eruption occurred during the Little Ice Age and contributed to the coldest summer in the Northern Hemisphere in 6 centuries, with crop failures reported in Europe, Russia, and Asia. The event significantly impacted the Spanish colonial economy in Peru, damaging agriculture and silver mining operations that were vital to Spain's wealth. Number 6. Alaskan Megablast. The 1912 Novarupta eruption in Alaska's Katmai region was the 20th century's most powerful volcanic event, ejecting approximately 15 cubic kilometers of material over 60 hours. This eruption created the Valley of 10,000 Smokes, where countless fumaroles vented steam for years across a 120 square kilometer ash-covered landscape. Despite its enormous scale, the remote location resulted in no direct human fatalities, though it devastated local ecosystems and altered regional geography. The ash cloud rose over 30 kilometers into the atmosphere, with fine ash detected as far away as Virginia and affecting global temperatures for several years. Scientists from the National Geographic Society conducted expeditions to study the unprecedented volcanic landscape, advancing the field of volcanology significantly. Number 5. Japanese volcanic disaster. The 1792 eruption of Mount Unzen triggered one of Japan's deadliest volcanic disasters through a complex chain of events. Following several months of seismic activity and smaller eruptions, a volcanic dome collapsed, creating a massive debris avalanche that swept into the Ariake Sea. This displacement generated a tsunami with waves reaching 20 to 30 meters high that devastated coastal communities along the Shimabara Peninsula. The combined volcanic and tsunami effects resulted in approximately 15,000 fatalities, making it Japan's most lethal volcanic event. The disaster influenced Japanese approaches to volcanic monitoring and disaster preparedness, leading to more systematic observation of active volcanoes. Number 4. Icelandic Fissure Eruption. The 1783 to 1784 Laki eruption in Iceland was an 8-month-long basaltic fissure eruption that produced the largest lava flow in recorded history. covering approximately 600 square kilometers. The eruption released an estimated 120 million tons of sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, creating a persistent haze across the northern hemisphere known as the Laki haze. This sulfur cloud caused significant climate disruption, leading to colder temperatures, crop failures, and famine throughout Europe, with particular severity in France, where some historians connected to social unrest preceding the French Revolution. In Iceland itself, the eruption led to the Möðuharðindin, or mist hardships, a famine that killed approximately 25% of Iceland's population through starvation and fluorine poisoning from volcanic gases. Number 3. Philippines' modern eruption. The 1991 eruption of Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines stands as the second largest volcanic eruption of the 20th century and one of the best documented in history. The eruption ejected approximately 10 cubic kilometers of material into the atmosphere, creating an ash column that rose 35 kilometers high. Successful scientific prediction and evacuation efforts led by the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology and the United States Geological Survey saved tens of thousands of lives, though the eruption still caused over 800 fatalities, primarily from collapsing roofs under wet ash. The sulfur dioxide released formed a global aerosol layer that temporarily reduced worldwide temperatures by approximately 0.5 degrees Celsius for 2 to 3 years following the eruption. The ashfall and pyroclastic flows devastated surrounding agricultural lands and displaced over 100,000 people, with economic losses estimated at several $100 million. Number 2. Guatemalan volcanic event. The 1902 eruption of Santa Maria Volcano in southwestern Guatemala was one of the largest eruptions of the 20th century and among the 3 biggest in Guatemala's history. The Plinian eruption occurred after approximately 500 years of dormancy, ejecting approximately 20 cubic kilometers of volcanic material and creating a 1.5 kilometer wide crater on the volcano's southwest flank. The explosion was heard as far away as Costa Rica, approximately 800 kilometers distant, and ashfall was reported in San Francisco, over 4,000 kilometers away. Pyroclastic flows devastated approximately 100,000 square kilometers of surrounding land, and lahars, volcanic mudflows, destroyed numerous coffee plantations that were vital to Guatemala's economy. The eruption caused an estimated 5,000 to 6,000 fatalities, though some estimates suggest the number may have been higher in remote indigenous communities. Number 1. Indonesian Cataclysm. The 1883 eruption of Krakatoa, in Indonesia's Sunda Strait represents one of history's most famous and well-documented volcanic cataclysms. The paroxysmal explosion on August 27, 1883 was heard over 4,800 kilometers away, with the sound waves circling the Earth multiple times. The eruption destroyed approximately 2/3 of the island, creating a caldera up to 250 meters deep and generating tsunamis that reached heights of 30 to 40 meters. These tsunamis devastated coastal communities along Java and Sumatra, causing over 36,000 fatalities, making it one of the deadliest volcanic events in recorded history. Volcanic ash ascended to approximately 80 kilometers altitude, creating spectacular global sunsets for several years and temporarily reducing global temperatures by approximately 1.2 degrees Celsius. The event was widely reported in newspapers worldwide due to the recently established global telegraph network, making it the first major natural disaster to receive truly international coverage.